Hello, my fellow Retrotopians, and welcome to episode 109 of the Retrotopia podcast, where this week we're going to change it up a little bit, and we're going to talk Final Fantasy VII Remake. That is Remake Part 1, not Rebirth. That's the second one, right? So if you're, just real quick note, if you were expecting True Lies this week, we apologize. We have had to temporarily postpone that episode. Alan was feeling a little under the weather. Brian's been busy. I've been busy. We just figured we needed a week to take a break from the regular recording, and we had this one in the backlog. So, fear not, there will be a True Lies episode further on down the line. But we wanted to make sure that A, we were all able to join that episode, and B, we could make it the best possible, and 3, it'll be later. So anyways, we're all good here. We just needed a little bit of a recording break. So enjoy this old episode that Brian and I recorded. I don't remember when, but I know that my recording area was upstairs and now it is downstairs. So it's that long ago, because that's a frame of reference that everyone knows. But first, where can you find us? You can find us at linktree/Retrotopia, and that's where you'll find our socials, our Discord. Join our Discord. It's free. I know you're out there. I know you're out there listening. You join our Discord. It's fun. Patreon. Patreon is free to start. There's a paid tier. You get some extra goodies, so also join the Patreon. And merch. We have a merch page. That's all on the Linktree. So linktr.ee/Retrotopia. We aren't talking True Lies this week, but we will talk to some of you. We have comments and questions this week, and we're going to use those. So let's get to the 9-bit banter box and see what some of you degenerates had to say. All right. The first comes from, sorry, If I'm sounding a little gravelly, it's because I had a cold last week myself. So man, we're all in rough shape. We're getting better, but all right. Blue Yoshi says, Sam, I am introducing another system to the Retrotopia canon, Genadrive. What does Megasys do that Genadrone and vice versa? Genadrive is definitely Bizarro World Megasys. And this is what we would have called the Megasys in a universe where Sonic was never invented and Alex Kidd ended up being the mascot for Sega. So, Genadrive, no thanks. Thanks. All right, fill up my mouth with farts says, Sam, with the review this week being True Lies, well, it will be later. What's your favorite? I just figured I'd keep this in. This is a good question. What is your favorite Schwarzenegger movie that isn't Terminator series or Predator? And why is it Kindergarten Cop? Well, he did take away my two favorites. But really, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger is a more versatile actor than he probably gets credit for. Kindergarten Cop is great. That is a great movie. Don't forget about Twins. Jingle All the Way. God, there were other ones where he did like some comedic shit. True Lies is kind of tongue-in-cheek, funny in a way. That's a great movie. Commando, I've always wanted to check out Conan the Barbarian too. That was from the late 70s, I believe, or like very early 80s. He's underrated, I think, because people just think he's like a, muscle meathead. I mean, and he, don't get me wrong, he is, but I think he has a little bit more chops than people give him credit for. Great actor. All right. I don't know if I really answered that question. I don't know if I have one aside from those two. When you take those two away, that's tough. Gosh, it's been a long time since I've seen True Lies, so I'd probably say that one, giving it a rewatch, but Kindergarten Cop is amazing. That's another one where he's kind of undercover. Excellent. Just excellent. All right. The Big Deal says, Storm Beagle is the easy one. Now come up with 7 other Mavericks for X to battle in his next game. The catch is they all have to be breeds of dog. So he gave me examples: Bomb Bulldog or Pyro Poodle. I love this question. I love any questions that have to do with dogs. So Storm Beagle is one of them already. Okay, so I didn't necessarily go the alliteration route, but I tried to come up with interesting powers for each Maverick, and I went off script from Mega Man X. So like Storm Beagle is already there, whatever. All right, Flame Dalmatian is one. Blast Pug. Poof Doodle. I don't know what the hell that's going to be, but, you know, golden doodles are poofy. Flip Jack Russell. He's giving me like a little flippy thing. Zap Whippet. You know, like, not a greyhound, a whippet. It's like a smaller version of a greyhound. Zap Whippet. Stretch Dachshund. That was one of my favorite ones. And then Frost Husky. Those are my 7. Yeah. Frost Husky. Yeah. All right. That was awesome. Thank you. That was a good question. All right. Hoolies Gang of Thugs says, Salty Sandwich Sam. Salty Sandwich. Ooh. What are your 2 favorite genres of games, and what are your 2 least favorite? That's a good question. Favorite, I'd say RPGs. And I'd say like I don't like action RPGs very much. So like turn-based or tactical RPGs, those are my favorite. Metroidvanias have become like a second favorite because I kind of think about it and it's like, yeah, action platformers are pretty fun. But like Metroidvanias, I always, whenever I play one, I get like addicted. Like I can't put them down. So I would say Metroidvanias. Honorable mention would be like a real-time strategy game like a Warcraft or a StarCraft. I just haven't played. Not World of Warcraft, Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3, not World of Warcraft, StarCraft, Age of Empires, Command and Conquer, Civilization, I guess could kind of count. Yeah, like that's an honorable mention just because I haven't played them as much, but I do have a PC that I can play on now, so look out. All right, least favorite. Excuse me. Beat 'em ups. I like beat 'em ups, but I don't love them, especially when they're kind of vanilla. And I'm not very good at them. Like the kind of like 2D-ish, you know, like you can move backwards and forwards on the screen. I always end up getting surrounded, and I guess that's the point. But yeah, and sometimes like I'll be like punch, but I'm not like hitting anything because I'm like just slightly not on the right plane as the enemy. So I don't know. Beat 'em ups. They're okay. Some of the newer ones are fun, and Streets of Rage is really fun. But the other ones are just kind of, they're fine. Fighting games, I'll say, is another least favorite. Not because I don't like them. I'm really not good at those either. Although there are a few where I've gotten I'll sink into it and I'll get way into it. So like when I was a kid, I played tons of Primal Rage. I also played quite a bit of Budokai 2. So there are times when I'll get into a fighting game, but in general, they stress me out too. Although I enjoy them, I'm not good at them. And then an honorable mention for least favorite would be sports games. I don't know. I like them. It's just, you know, I can only play so much. I could never really like get into a season or like a multiple season mode, like a franchise mode or like a GM mode on, you know, like MLB The Show. Don't play that one. PGA Golf. Don't play that one. Madden. Haven't played one of those in years. You know, NCAA football's back. That's cool. Don't play it. Haven't played it in years. NHL. I got 23, but I really didn't play that much of it. I don't know. I thought I was going to get back into it, and the graphics are amazing, and the stick handling is cool. I just couldn't play it over and over again. So yeah, sports games, I guess. Like I want to like them, but not for me. Thanks. All right, next comes from Ovendoli. All right, Sam, Thanksgiving is coming up. Yes, it is. Or if you're Canadian, it came up already and has passed. It's one of my 2 favorite It's Okay If You Eat Too Much holidays. That's every holiday. Cranberry stuffing, my wife's herb turkey. What is your favorite dish? Wow, that all sounds good. Turkey for sure, because I don't really, I don't eat turkey off, like turkey deli meat, sure, but I don't like just sit there and eat like a whole honkin' turkey or like a turkey leg. So I really do like dark meat. So I don't eat much turkey throughout the year. Thanksgiving comes around, I load up with dark meat. Cheesy potatoes, like the kind that have like the cornflakes and are baked. Those are good. Green bean casserole is good, and that's got it's made with the mushroom soup and the French fried onions on top. Oh. Here's a hot take. I really like the Ocean Spray canned cranberry sauce. That's kind of like Jell-O, and like when you open the can and you like it like goes like makes like a fart and comes out, and then it like just holds the shape of the can. Like I'm sure you're supposed to like mix it up or put it in something, but I don't know. You just plop that can of cranberry into a bowl and just dig in. I don't care if it's shaped like a can. Those are my favorites. Thanks. That's a good question too. Food questions, dog questions, we got them all. All right, last one comes from Game Genius, who says, Sir Sam the Wise. Ooh, I don't know about that. Sam the something, that's for sure. You have children. Yes, I do. What is the first game you introduced each of them to, and what genre does each of them lean towards now? I introduced my now 5-year-old son with the OG Sonic, and now he loves going fast. That's amazing. But alas, he really likes Fortnite and Minecraft, both of which I can't stand. My oldest son is about to be 17, and I met him at 6, and the first game we played together was Halo 3, and he beat it. That's awesome. He's mostly into whatever his friends are playing now, which changes every week. Yeah, I don't know, like, I'm sure we were the same way, it just doesn't seem like it in retrospect, but like, it really just feels like, oh, I'm playing this game, and I was like, yeah, sweet, that's awesome. Then you ask next, like, hey, what, you still playing that? It's like, no. I got bored. Yeah, so my oldest got her started on, like Mario Kart and Mario and stuff. Not the originals, but like the Switch versions. But there were points where she was into like Minecraft, Splatoon, Mario Kart. She was quite into Roblox for a bit. I don't know that she plays it very much anymore. She's super busy. So yeah, you're gonna hear Roblox come up. My middle daughter, they're all daughters, by the way. Middle Kirby game. She likes Kirby game. One Kirby game. No, she loves Kirby games. So like Kirby in the Forgotten Land. She likes the Star Allies. She played a ton of. I think she had the other one. There's been a bunch of Kirby games on the Switch. She also enjoys Paper Mario. She likes Super Smash Brothers. My youngest is like a total Mario fiend. She will lock in. I remember one time she was like, this is a couple of years ago. She's even younger than, obviously it's a couple of years ago. Obviously she's younger than she is now. But I was telling her, hey, it's time to go to bed. And she's like, 5 more minutes. And she was playing Super Mario 3D World. I was like, yeah, whatever. All right, fine. So I give her 5 more minutes. And before that 5 minutes is up, I hear like the roar of Bowser, like she had beaten it. I think she was playing like the Bowser's Fury or Bowser's Fury or whatever, where you have the cat Bowser or whatever. She just like casually beats that, and I was like, Jesus, okay, yeah, 5 more minutes indeed. And then at some point or another, each of them was into Animal Crossing huge, so we'd play that together, and Mario Kart. Now actually, like the last several months, like they have hardly played their Switch, so I don't know, they go in and out of phases, so maybe they'll come back to it at some point. And also I play a ton, so maybe they consider it kind of dorky because it's something I like, but whatever. Great question. Hopefully I answered. I felt like that was rambling, but I don't know. 3 kids, they play games, and sometimes they play the games that I like too, but usually not. Okay. All right. Let's see. It is time for our game that we do in the intro. Choose one, lose one.
Ladies and gentlemen, roll up and choose your power-up from the game of the week. You pick a power, we pick a consequence. It's Choose One, Lose One, the game where everyone's a loser.
And this week we threw some impromptu calls for responses to both the game Choose One, Lose One and comments on Final Fantasy VII Remake. So thank you for everyone who jumped into action and gave us a couple of games. So let's go. Choose One, Lose One. All right. First one comes from Sergeant Ombre, who says, I'd for one like a chocobo. Well, guess what? You have to trade your cars for it, and it's your only means of transportation. It's a yellow one, and you need to go on a complicated series of side quests and breeding if you want the type of chocobo that gets anywhere useful. Have fun. Fallen Snow Kiku says, I'd love to rip Don Corneo's balls off. Oh, touche. Well, I don't know. He screams really loud like the little shit that he is, and you have a very slight ringing in your ears for like a minute. Honestly, I couldn't find a good counter to that one. Fuck that guy. So you just get like mildly inconvenienced. You have to be mildly uncomfortable for like 2 seconds in your ear that he screamed in. And then you get a pat on the back from me for ripping Don Corneo balls off. That guy sucks. And even worse in Remake. Oh God. I don't know if we get in. I can't remember what we talked about. I don't know if we got into it, but that guy really fucking pissed me off in Remake. All right. D-Train says, can I have Cloud's motorcycle? Yes. But the insurance payments are more than your rent or mortgage. Half Glass Hooli says, I would like the power to swing that badass sword that Cloud has. Cool. You have the strength to swing the huge sword, but you do not have the ability to turn that strength off. So anything that requires arm movement gets the same amount of strength as swinging the Buster Sword. So you're going to break a lot of shit, man. Maybe including your arm, depending on what you're doing. I don't know. Eef. Brother Retro says, I choose to stab a girl in the back without remorse. Give me a taste of being a bad guy. Jeez. Sure, you can do that, but you also have to deal with that girl's kind of sort of boyfriend coming after you with Ultima and Meteor and a giant ass sword. He's gonna fuck you up. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious says, I would like the ability to remake my life with improved graphics and a better storyline. Ooh. Let's see. It's remade by EA, unfortunately, and you need to make an account for that. Also, there's going to be a day one patch, and you have to pay extra for any armor upgrades or loot packs or anything that you might need to make the game more fun. You got to pay up a little extra. So, oof. Have fun. All right. Now we're going to turn it over to can't talk anymore. It's been a long day, folks. Sorry. We're going to turn it over to Alan for the gentleman's interlude.
Oh my God, no Alan for the GI. Okay, what are we going to do? Breathe. Breathe. Getting into Alan's mindset. Pants are coming off. And... good evening, dear listeners. Gather round, grab a cuppa, and maybe a Jolly Dodger. Tonight we're taking a posh stroll through the fancy, polished world of Final Fantasy VII Remake. Not just a glow-up, mind you, but a proper rebuild from the ground up. We begin in the city of Midgar, now looking sharper than a freshly pressed suit. Every sector's got its own vibe, from the slums of chattering folk in dodgy alleyways, to the upper plate where Shinra keeps all the clean air and posh lights for themselves. Proper rude that. Our main lad, Cloud, joins Avalanche, helping them blow up a giant Mako reactor. You know, those massive machines sucking the planet dry like they're trying to win a Slurpee drinking contest. The game turns the original quick intro into a full adventure, adding new areas, side quests, and plenty of character moments you never got back in 1997. And the combat. Oh, it's a right fancy hybrid. You got real-time slashing and dodging, but also the active-time battle charges for spells, abilities, and items. You can swap between Cloud, Tifa, and Aerith and Barret mid-fight, each with their own playstyles. Like a polite little buffet of violence, materia returns as bright, floaty marbles of magic goodness. Fancy some fireballs? Cure spells? Summons big enough to scare the neighbors? It's all there, upgraded, sparkly, and dramatically over the top. Then there's the soundtrack, orchestral versions of every tune you've loved, now big enough to shake your teacup. And the boss fights? Massive, cinematic, full of phases and explosions and dramatic speeches. Very theatrical, very extra, absolutely delightful. And of course, the story doesn't just recreate the old hits. It adds new scenes, new characters, mysteriously ghostly whispers, and rather spicy ending that says, oh yes, we're changing things now, mate. So raise your mugs, my fine Retrotopia listeners. Here's to a remake that just isn't a remake. It's a full-blown reinvention. Bigger, shinier, louder, and bold enough to send even longtime fans muttering, "Oi, what are they up to now?" Right then, back to the program.
Sorry, folks. I'm being told that Alan is just absolutely exhausted from the Cool Borders GI. So we're going to skip it this week and get right to the comments on Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Wait, you mean I didn't have to do that?
Fallen Snow Kiku says, Final Fantasy VII Remake is one of my favorite games of the last generation. They took an already excellent game and gave the first part of it a remake worthy of the game's legacy. I love every bit of it and have cosplayed Aerith specifically from Remake. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear it. I really love that you love this game so much and that you've got your cosplay nailed down. I had heard that you say you did Aerith cosplay before, so that's awesome. Keep it up. That is so cool. All right. Oh yeah, and specifically from Remake, because like that really, like, you could do the cosplay back when we had, all we had to work off of was the original, but obviously with the Remake, there's all kinds of detail in those character models that wasn't in the original. So that's awesome. All right, and Brother Retro says, I haven't had a chance to play this yet, but as long as it's better than the dumpster fire of the original, then it might be worth a few bucks. I can hear your gears grinding as you read this. Woo! Wow, that is a hot take. I know it's not everyone's favorite Final Fantasy, but man, I don't hear too many people actively dislike it. I mean, the original. I mean, the remake, if you don't like the remake, whatever, but come on. All right, well, let's get to it. Released back in 2020, back in COVID times. I guess we still kind of are in COVID times, but peak pandemic time, 2020. Square Enix developed and published a little-known game called Final Fantasy VII Remake for the PS4, and it is now pretty much on everything. All right, everybody, let's start the show.
We are talking Final Fantasy VII, but we are talking the remake. And yes, we are going to do some comparisons to the original, but not a lot. Sam, you just played this game for the first time recently, didn't you?
I sure did. And it took me a really long time to get through it because I finally picked up a PS5 about a year ago. And I mean, this was a PS4 game, so I didn't need a PS5 to play it, but I got a PS5. And then, I got the digital only version. So I thought, what can I do to get the most out of this? And so I got a PS Plus subscription, and lo and behold, Final Fantasy VII Remake is on there. So
yep. Yeah,
over a year later, I'm done.
Yeah, there you go. Congratulations on taking the bare minimum amount of time to beat this game.
That's right.
Although it's not a hugely long game. It's about 24 to 30 hours in length.
Yeah, I actually took 30 hours. I did all the little side quests and stuff, or at least as many as I could find.
Yeah, and that's That really does extend the game, because some of them are just fetch quests where you have to run from point A to point B, find something, run back to point A, and I hate those. I hate
I will
those with
say,
passion.
I will say that the one with the stupid cats really pissed me off, and so did
Oh yeah,
like the next time that you get free time in the slums, they're like, "Can you go find all the kids from the kindergarten?" Like, just fuck off.
they're five. They're fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I did like how you could go like through the wall and find the like the little kids hang out, and then they would give you missions to go on, and you could spend your little like what were they? The
chocobo
Moogle
coins. Oh,
Moogle
Moogle
coins or
coins.
whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, there was some good stuff at
yeah.
those
These kids are
yeah.
fucking packing.
Yeah. Yeah, they give you gosh, did they give you the hard edge, the Cloud's sword? There's like a sword or like one of Barrett's guns, I think, that's like these kids
Yeah,
have for like the Moogle medals.
yeah. They give you a couple of good items. But we're going to get into that in a minute. But first, I just want to say that this game was a COVID game. We were just talking
Yeah.
about that actually, and this game came out on the 10th of April, 2020, and that
Mhm.
is about a month from to the day that I was sent home for COVID for the 2 weeks before we all get back to the normal. Uh, I played it right
Yeah.
away. I got the game. It was right before my birthday, so it was my birthday present to me while I was stuck inside, and I didn't have any work to do because they didn't set up our VPN yet, so we couldn't tap into the office for about a month and a half. So I had nothing but time, and I love this game personally.
Dude, that kicks ass.
Oh yeah,
So
it
you
was
had a
great.
month you had a month during COVID where you didn't have to like work or
Yeah.
anything, huh?
Well, they were so resistant to the work from home concept before that if you we were issued laptops.
Mhm.
And the concept was if you're sick for a day, well, you just stay home and you work at home because there's enough of the VPN access for, a few people here and there. But when COVID hit, they overwhelmed these servers. So they had to expand the servers, and that took something like 2 months. So at the peak of this period, I was working 1 hour from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. was my slotted time to check my emails.
Oh, geez.
And
It's like
yeah,
you got an hour. It's like going on the internet when you were a kid. And
it's
like
like it's that South Park episode there when Randy's looking for porn.
yeah.
Do you have a little internet?
Yeah.
Oh man, that was a great time though, because getting your full paycheck there while not having the means to go out and spend any money, like we saved so much money and we paid off so many bills. It
Fuck.
Yeah, it just we lucked out so much with COVID there, and then of course a couple of health issues and some big payouts from the government for them paid off our cars, and now we're just laughing.
God damn. Yeah, for me COVID time, I didn't have a PlayStation at the time, so I was not playing this. I was playing I think I had gotten a Switch at that point and was getting back into games. So, I think at the time it was a lot of probably Breath of the Wild for me.
Oh yeah, Breath of the Wild was a big one, but I played that one in Winnipeg
Yeah, and
years before
that's like
COVID.
God, that came out in like 2017, didn't it? Or like
Yeah,
18? Jesus
well,
Christ, that's
it
a long
came out
time
when the
ago.
Switch came out because it was the
Yeah.
first two games, that and Odyssey.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's weird to think this is off topic, but it's weird to think that Breath of the Wild was there's like a Wii U version of it too.
Yeah, that's back in the days, kind of like a GameCube version of Twilight Princess.
Yes. Yeah.
Like
Kind of
that,
funny.
those were the days when Nintendo actually cared enough to multi-platform stuff.
Yeah. Fuck it.
No, yeah. So, anyways, yeah. So that was it for me. I just it was around this time too that I started listening to podcasts, and then like before COVID, I had no hobbies after work. I would just go through the motions until the next day happened. But
Yeah.
because of COVID, I ended up taking up cooking, podcasting. I got all the equipment for podcasting. It wasn't until we started this that I actually did a podcast.
Yeah.
Streaming on Twitch, recording videos, video editing, all that kind of stuff is just, I finally found hobbies, and it made me realize how dissatisfied with work I was. So
Yeah,
when
it
it
really
was,
does.
yeah, when it was time to go back to the office, I couldn't do it, and then I had to kind of pull a pin, and then here we are today, which is
Yeah.
why it was lucky we were able to pay off so much.
Hey, is your cooking your cooking hobby, the reason why you told me that I should use a coffee grinder to put I can't even say it without laughing.
Okay, like
put
obviously,
Doritos in a coffee
well, you're the
grinder
one
and
who's like,
grind them
I
up.
encrusted my chicken with Doritos for the kids there, and
Yeah, it's good.
a coffee grinder is technically just called a grinder. The only reason it's called a coffee grinder is because you put coffee inside of it. So
Well,
yes, you can use a grinder to grind something down into a powder in order to make it a little better than just hammering it with your fist or whatever the hell you did. You're
yeah,
the
I
one who's
fisted
saying
it.
that the pieces were too big.
Yeah, they were.
It's also a spice grinder. You can mix
I just thought it
spices
was.
into it.
I know. I just thought it was. I'm gonna get a special coffee grinder that's just for Doritos,
Yeah,
and I'm
you
just
just
gonna
call it the
blow the
Dorito
dust on
grinder
everything.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, you can get a bag of chips, a bag of Doritos into you faster if it's ground up and you just drink it like a water.
Oh, you could. It's like a protein shake, but
Yeah, pretty
it's
much. Like
just
the
like
opposite of
MSG.
a an opposite of a protein shake. Like you're physically gonna lose muscle mass.
Yeah, you just get immediately like string
Diabetes.
arms and like a gut.
Just like instant diabetes.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay, so that was the release date, 10th of April, 2020. This game was a demand from the fans because the original game released 31st of January 1997 for the
That's
PlayStation
right.
1 became such a phenomenon, like taking Final Fantasy from the pixel to the 3D generation and adding full motion videos in there. A lot of people say this was their first JRPG they ever played. He has a
Yep,
huge
yeah.
fan base, and for years and years, people demanded, like, just basically demanded a remake. And finally, in 2015 at E3, in the month of June, Square Enix finally announced that they were doing a remake, and then 5 years later, it finally came out.
But hang on, this goes even further back cuz do you remember I was in so this is probably like 2006 or 7 or so. I was in college and they were doing um like tech demos to demonstrate the PS3's
Oh
graphical
yeah, yeah.
capabilities, and they released that remake of just the opening scene.
But that was a tech demo that had nothing to do with the remake. They actually came out
I
with press
know.
releases stating that no, there
Yeah.
is no remake. We kind of fucked up showing you everything you wanted and then some.
Yeah, they needed the press release to say that because everyone lost their fucking mind.
Yeah, and
So I would consider this game as being hotly anticipated and rumored, or like just kind of in the general consciousness since then.
yeah, pretty much well over a decade for sure.
Yeah. That's,
And
I
of
mean, just
course,
think about that.
gamers are known for their calm, non-rumor starting demeanor. So obviously, people every time they saw something, they would say there's a remake on the way. Oh
Yeah.
my God,
We're,
Square changed their web address. Yeah, remake confirmed. Half-Life
yeah.
3 is coming.
Yeah. We're a patient bunch.
No, we're not.
we're, we're
No,
really accepting and patient of
no, we're the people
delays.
that demand a game get released perfectly well before it's ready, then complain it's not perfect after it gets released broken.
No, Pokemon Scarlet was fine. Don't worry.
We are garbage. All right.
Yeah. Oh, that, and I would say, just to go back to like how how hotly anticipated this remake was that remake video, or that, like little tech demo video from E3, and then also Advent Children did a lot to like kind of bring those characters into the next generation of like how they could look and feel in an updated graphical environment, because the characters are pretty blocky looking and stuff in
Yeah,
the original,
they're a product of their time for sure. I mean,
for sure.
3D was still in its infant phase, and just having 3D was amazing. Like even the backgrounds were still just painted on, pictures.
Yeah. But getting to see Cloud and Tifa and Barret, specifically those three, in like fully rendered 3D,
Yeah,
really good animation, even like you see the Turks, there's a lot of that, a lot of the Rude and Reno and whatever, they're all in it. And that's a good movie. I like that movie.
that was a good movie. I did enjoy it. There's parts of it I don't enjoy, but you know what? I
Yeah,
wasn't
I
on
mean,
that episode of Retro Wars, so if you want to
I
hear
was.
Sam's opinion, you can go to Retro Wars and listen to that movie review.
It's not perfect, but I sure do like that movie.
Yeah. All right. So the story actually only covers a portion of the original game, and that's the portion inside of Midgar. The
Hmm.
original game that takes 2 to 3 hours to complete. This game again takes 30 hours. So they really stretched it out with little extra things and stuff to look at and story elements, which I kind of appreciated because
Yeah, where you'd see like, I mean, I like how it's almost fan service, like not in a derogatory way. You know how like people say, like, "Ooh, fan service," but a good fan service to take stuff like when you're in the original game, when you're in Nibelheim and you're in that like haunted mansion looking place where you find Vincent, and then there's like one of the monsters in the random battles is like a fucking house for some reason.
oh, that happens in Midgar.
Is that in Midgar? Okay,
That's
but
in Midgar when you're between Wall Market and Sector 5.
oh, that's right. I thought that was in the mansion for some reason, but that's just the thing where like it looks ridiculous. It's just like one of the most, Final Fantasy ass like weird little concoctions they can make to fill out the game, and give you random little monsters to fight everywhere. But it, you don't get it in a random encounter here. It's not on the map or anything, but you fight it as a boss battle in this like tournament or whatever. That's kind of like a
Yeah, it's part of the
just an
Wall
additional
Market
piece.
story.
Yeah, and that thing's fucking hard.
It is, but the house in the original game was it was just so funny because like you're running through this. I guess it's supposed to be the collapse highway, which is
Yeah,
extended in the remake. But yeah,
yeah,
you're
they did.
running through this collapse highway, and there's fucking houses fighting you. It's the housing market got dangerous, man.
Yeah, it did. That's
Yeah,
a
but
that's a fixer upper.
it's just like you're right. It's the most ridiculous thing in the world, but they were fun enemies, I guess, for the lack of a better term.
Yeah, but I like how they, in order to make the game uh, be taken, I guess, a little bit more seriously, like walking around and finding that as an enemy out in the world would look stupid in a game that's this kind of realistic and well, like voice acted and scored and all that kind of stuff.
Well,
But
it
just
would
to throw it
also
in there, yeah,
and also look ridiculous because you can see the enemies on the world map, and if you
yeah,
saw a house
that too,
bouncing around like a dog, I mean,
yeah.
yeah, that would look a bit ridiculous.
But it was kind of cool for them to throw it in as kind of a boss battle, and then that's a nod to us fans that played it when it first came
Yeah,
out, and it was like, oh hey, there's that weird house.
yeah, no, absolutely. So this game features 5 of the main cast characters, 4 of them which are playable. You have Cloud Strife, Barret Wallace, Aerith Gainsborough, Tifa Lockhart, or Boobs McGee as we call her,
Oh,
and Red 13. Red 13 is non-playable though
I
until
didn't
the
like that.
second. Yeah, until the second game. He's
Yeah,
playable in Rebirth.
yeah. It was cool that you found Red, late in the game here, but I just really wish that you would have been able to play as him. I
Yeah,
understand that's like he's a late game addition and he's just kind of like hanging out with your party, but man, there's other RPGs where you get a character late and they just kind of show up and they have a weapon and they're kind of well leveled and
well, we're at the
they just
point
kind of
where they can
join your
scale
party.
to the rest of the party, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like anyone who's not in your party is already scaling to Cloud. So just just give me fucking Red and let me play.
Yeah, that was kind of an odd choice, but they remedied it by letting you play as him in the next game, and then take 2 other characters he can't play as. So every game has a little bit of fuck you in it.
I guess. Oh man, who do you not I have not played obviously Rebirth yet since I just finished this one, but so like
Uh,
then you
yeah,
can't
if this
play
game
as.
took you a year to play, Rebirth will probably take you the next 10.
Oh god, yeah, I'm not playing that anytime soon. I'll play it at some point, but god, it's going to take and I know it's longer. I know it's like twice as long as this. So yeah.
It probably more than twice as long. There's a lot to do in that game, but if you run through the story, which is what I did, then yeah, it's about 32 to 35 hours.
But did you do extra content?
Not in a lot of it because I just wanted the story.
Yeah.
But speaking of story, let's go back to Cloud Strife. What do you think of him as a Final Fantasy character? He's pretty much the face of Final Fantasy in so many terms, as a lot more people recognize him than, say, a character like Terra or
Oh yeah.
Zidane. Uh,
Yeah, for sure he is. And I mean, he's in Smash for crying out loud.
yeah, not the
I
best
it's
Final
funny.
Fantasy character, but for sure the most recognizable.
Oh, for sure. And it's funny cuz it's like I'd play this game, and my my kids would be like, uh "Oh, that's the guy that you play as in Smash Brothers." It's like, "Yep, there he is."
Pause the
Um
game, look at them sternly. This is Cloud fucking Strife for the
yeah.
last fucking time.
Well, I like in this game that he's got a little bit more character,
Personality.
or just yeah, personality than he does in the original. And Squall is like this too in Final Fantasy VIII. Like there's supposed to be these like brooding characters, like emo
Yeah, well,
90s
it's,
guys, but like he's kind of a silent protagonist.
yeah, but
He
how do you
doesn't say
brood in
much.
text? Like, at least
Right.
now he has a voice.
It's just like dot 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 whatever. That it's that, or yeah. Um, but yeah, he shows a lot more personality, and you can tell like there, whether it be facial expression, which they're able to add into this game, or dialogue, or just actions on screen that you can see that he's either caring for other characters, or he's conflicted about whether or not he wants to allow himself to care for these other characters. And that's, I think it was a lot better than what we saw in Final Fantasy VII, the
Yeah,
original.
definitely for sure. And I also like how they kind of really put a personality into Barret. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I found him kind of generic in the original Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
They didn't really, let him be expressive. Of course, he's flipping around and talking all this stuff all the time, but with the updated graphics and the way, like you said, they can show facial emotions and body emotions, he really became a good character. I really enjoyed him in the game.
Yeah, I liked Barrett. I like how when you when you fight with he was I noticed it in the sewers. I think either the Collapse Freeway or the sewers where you're going through with those characters. When you win a battle, like they would kind of just like talk to each other while you're walking around the map or the screen, and you'd win a battle, and he'd do like the da da da
Da, da, da,
da
da,
da
da,
da da
da,
da da.
da, da,
Yeah.
da. Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
and Yuffie does it too. I played like the very first part of intermission, and Yuffie does it too.
It's a good nod because obviously they don't have the fanfare at the end of the fight. I think it happens in Rebirth, but don't quote me on that. I'd
They
have to.
do add it when you are in that Shinra simulator where you're either fighting to get the summons.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
simulator though. I'm like, obviously it's a video game into itself or onto itself.
Yeah, but I like how they added in the simulator.
Yeah,
It's way more like the music is way more close to the original, and then they play the fanfare, and then they also like Cloud twirls his sword a couple times, and like they do the stuff that they do,
yeah.
yeah, when you beat a
You have
battle
to
and
have that
everything.
nod. You have to have it somewhere in the game.
Yeah.
Otherwise, some nerd's gonna start writing an email to Square, dear Creative Business Unit One,
Yeah, I
which is
liked
who.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
All the little nods to the original game. This was its own thing. You don't need to have played. I mean, it helps because otherwise, like, there's some story elements that I was like, especially towards the end, where I was like, "What the fuck is this? Like, what is happening
Yeah,
right now?"
it was
Um,
definitely a nice way to kind of not just remake the original story, but throw you a little bit for a loop with those fate things.
I didn't, I didn't like those. I thought
Well,
those were pretty annoying.
they were annoying, but they were great for if the story goes off track. Their whole thing was trying to push the story back into into place there, and that comes into play in Rebirth.
Yeah. So if you haven't played it, it starts like pretty much right away. Um, right when Cloud meets Aerith in Midgar after the bombing mission, just like how you find her in original Final Fantasy VII. She's selling
That
flowers
scene,
in Midgar. Yeah, that's a famous scene.
Yeah, where it
Um,
comes down and it shows her stepping in a puddle there, and you have that music going, and then it flashes to the train, then kind of back to
yeah,
her.
yeah, and then you see her when you're on street level. That's where you kind of bump into her,
You buy the
right?
flower, you don't buy the flower, and
Oh,
it,
okay. Here's a good question. Do you buy the flower?
always.
I always buy the flower too.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't buy the flower, I mean, the only change is the flower doesn't show up in the bar.
Right. And there's a little piece of dialogue because you go back to the bar and then Tifa asks you about the flower and then you give Tifa the flower. And then when Aerith goes to the bar later to save Marlene, she notices the flower there, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
it
cool.
kind of. I think that's kind of gives her a hint that Cloud kind of has a thing for Tifa.
Right. And
'Cause
that's I kind of felt that pang of like, oh, that's gonna be awkward.
yeah, oh man, she can't have another soldier boyfriend. Oh, geez.
Oh,
Because
that's right.
yeah, because she was dating
Zach,
Zach.
right? I always forget that because I've not played what's the
Crisis Core.
Crisis Core?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually mentioned a few times in the game as well. She'll always reference her boyfriend was Soldier First Class as well, because Cloud is basically Zach. And at this point, if you haven't played the original Final Fantasy VII, I mean, I'm sorry, but uh, there's going to be a lot of spoilers in this because it is,
Just do it.
yeah,
Even
technically a
if we
20 some odd.
well, I was saying just do it for both the listener if you haven't played Final Fantasy, just do it. It's so good.
Oh yeah, all the Final Fantasies are good except for
And
8 and 13.
oh, eight's fine. Come on.
I know it's
Um and then also like spoiler, just spoil it. To be honest, if you listen to this episode and you've never played a Final Fantasy 7 or a Final Fantasy game and you're curious but you don't want to be spoiled for story, like I've listened to podcasts about games that I haven't played before and then we get like the spoiler warning and all that kind of stuff and I've listened to it and then to be honest, it doesn't matter. I forget anyways, so
it
you're going to
depends.
forget.
Some games I
Yeah, I
liked,
guess.
like I won't listen to reviews or read reviews of games I really want to play, like say again Rebirth, because reviewers nowadays and people on the fucking internet are so obsessed with being the first person to spoil it for you that like you can't
Yeah.
go if the game is released and you haven't finished it, you can't go online until you finish it because there's some douchebag that's already fucking spoiled it. And Deadpool and Wolverine is a perfect example of that because I was watching some YouTube shorts the day after I went to see it on opening night, and it was
Yeah.
filled with all the fucking plot points and all the goddamn cameos, and it was like, why?
Oh yeah, even if you go on like in Discord, if you go into the little GIF generator, there's all kinds of spoilers for Wolverine Deadpool.
Oh, there you go. I learned something about you. You call it GIF.
GIF or GIF? I don't know why I said GIF. I think I usually say GIF.
I call it moving
Whatever.
pictures.
Yeah, moving pictures.
Nobody
That's a
can get
great
mad
Rush
that way.
album. That's a great Rush album.
That is true.
All
All right,
right. What's
ask the real question: Aerith or Tifa?
that is such a I was thinking about that too.
Like 1A, 1B, obviously, but
It is. You know what? My gosh, what would I say? Like my heart. Okay, my my manly desires probably say Tifa.
yeah,
But like in my, my heart, like for like characters, I would I would say Aerith. I mean, Aerith is she's a sweetie.
yeah. Aerith is the girl you get together with because she makes you feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
Tifa's the girl you get with because she's going to tell the waiter that you got your order wrong, and you don't have to be embarrassed.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
Tifa is although I'm so conflicted like back and forth cuz like obviously Aerith is sweet and she's the one that I think Cloud really has a thing for despite the fact that obviously she dies. And
what?
then I think it's pretty strongly implied that he ends up with Tifa in the end, right?
Well, yeah. There. I mean, if you play the original game, there's a whole scene where it's basically spelled out for you.
Right. Um I don't know where I was going with that. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's
no, I and then in Advent Children, which isn't really part of this discussion, but I really like Tifa's character in that because she kind of picks up some of that she's always positive, and I really like that about her. You know, it's like, we'll get through this, don't worry. Like, and she's trying to pick Cloud up and you know, like, you know, make him, you get him out of whatever funk he's in or whatever, like make him care and stuff like that. And she's always there to be like the positive force for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Now I'm going to throw another one at you.
Okay.
Aerith, Tifa, or Jesse?
Yeah.
Tell me they did not fucking do right by Jesse in this game and
Oh
make
my
him
God.
probably one of the most likable characters in video games.
I know. And it's like Jesse, Biggs, and Wedge are such background characters in the, I mean, they're basically there to just fill out the ranks, quote unquote, of Avalanche. You
Yeah,
know,
and
like,
they're
oh, we can't just have two, you know, like Tifa and Barret be this Avalanche cell. We need to have some other characters in there. Um, but
yeah,
they do so much more in this game.
and they interact with you in such a way that actually makes them very likable. And there's that whole mission where you go above ground and you go to Jesse's parents' house, and then you end up
Yeah.
infiltrating that one area where you have that big fight with all the Shinra soldiers and the douchebag on the motorcycle.
Oh, that motorcycle fight was stupid.
Yeah,
Anyways,
but
oh, but like, yeah. Oh, Jesse sitting on that motorcycle behind Cloud. It's like, oh,
dude, it's a
just
video game. Calm down.
no, I know. Don't shame me, God damn it.
Your pillow's going to get it tonight.
Yeah, no. If they're no at this point, if a video game character is hot, like they're hot. They basically look like people. For fuck's sake. I mean, not Tifa. Tifa's proportionally not really what a lady looks like, but
Is that the sound of a shovel as you keep digging?
yep. No, but Jesse,
um,
but Jesse's got great personality too, and just is also a kind of like another way to try to get Cloud out of his, you know, like his
it
attitude,
builds,
I
yeah,
guess.
it builds his
Yeah,
character, right?
right.
You kind of see because of Jesse that Cloud is actually a caring person, more so than if he was just with Aerith and Tifa the whole time.
Right. And you can tell that he's a ladies man, cuz like every hot chick that he encounters just is all over wanting to, like, you know, talk to him and
Oh yeah, he's hung
make
like a
sure that
horse.
make sure he's okay. And
But Wedge, likable character, but the guy who does his voice plays one of Jesse's friends on Breaking Bad, and that's all I can hear from him is that raspy voice he has.
oh, really? I liked those characters too. Biggs and Wedge were great.
Yeah, Biggs just sounded generic though. Like he's just a pretty guy himself with dark hair, and he has a deep, brooding voice, and very, I don't know, calm. I guess would be the
Oh
way
yeah,
to
Wedge is
describe
the
him.
big dude, right? And Wedge has that kind of like goofy voice.
Yeah, and he's the guy with
Yeah.
the voice from Breaking Bad. I just
Oh,
can't
that's
remember
from okay. I
what.
liked Biggs and Wedge. I like that there is a I don't know when they started this, but I like that there is a Biggs and Wedge in pretty much every Final Fantasy.
Yeah, his name is Matt Jones. I can't remember what character he played though.
Oh, for Breaking Bad? I don't know. I don't watch that. Um
What the hell's wrong with you, man?
yeah, I like that they built them out, just Biggs, Wedge, and Jesse in general. But who is yeah, I just no, sorry. Now I'm hung up on like the fact that there's a Biggs and a Wedge in almost every, like in Final Fantasy VIII, it's the two like Galbadia soldiers or whatever that you have to fight all the time.
Yeah, I think
Uh
this Biggs
yeah.
and Wedge actually started in Final Fantasy VI.
6, okay. Yeah. And I don't remember what they were in 9 or 10, but I think they're there, right?
Um,
It's just one of those things where you're like, "Oh, there they are."
see, every appearance of Biggs and Wedge.
And actually I think it's a reference to Star Wars.
Yeah, it is actually. It's a reference to the Pew Pew X-wing fighter guys.
Yeah, those are basically like Luke's wingmen in in A New Hope.
So they did appear in Final Fantasy IV, but the one I'm seeing is they appeared in the 3D remake.
Oh, so they went
So
back and worked him in.
yeah, so I think Biggs was also Final Fantasy VI. They accidentally called Biggs Vix in the translation.
Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah, but they've pretty much appeared in most of the Final Fantasies since six for sure. Definitely lovable characters.
Yeah, they're great. Like all the characters are awesome. Like Red, obviously, I'm disappointed that you didn't get to play as him, but it was fine for like the four characters that you got to play with. And who's your favorite character to play as in the battles? Like,
No, I
did
just
you
do
find
Cloud.
yourself you just do
Um,
Cloud?
I would rotate if I needed to, but mostly I stuck with Cloud.
My strategy, actually, because I'm not very good at this type of game, which we'll get into, I flipped characters like a ton. Like I was always flipping characters to kind of distract the enemies, and then also like I'd work their gauges up, and then just enough to do either a spell or a special ability, and then I'd flip to another one. So I was constantly rotating through because I really like turn-based combat, and I like to be able to think out my moves and plan them out. And I think that this type of action RPG kind of took that from me. And so I think I adapted my play style to try to regain as much of that as possible by like flipping through and just like, if it was Tifa, it was just like punch, 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 punch. Okay, ATB is filled, at least one of those notches. Like, let's rattle off I don't know, like a spell. It's like usually like Tifa had loaded up with a lot of offensive spells. So I'd be like, all right, like do a thunder on this thing and then flip back to cloud so that I could um do like what was the freaking thrust that he did that I use that all the time. I would spam the one that
Like, are you talking the triangle button where it switches to their alternate attack?
mm-mm. No, I would try to do because a focus thrust. That was the one. I was trying to think of the name of it. Cloud had focus thrust, so I would. Um, I think that was probably the special ability of Clouds that I used the most because I would try to build the stagger gauge. Um, so I was just like focus thrust, focus thrust, focus thrust. Um, yeah, I don't know. How do you do with this type of? I mean, uh I'm not as old school of a gamer as you are, but still like I don't enjoy a lot of modern games, and I found myself struggling with this. What did you think of the battle system?
I didn't mind it at all. I mean,
Ugh.
we're getting past the point. Like, I played also Final Fantasy 15 a lot. Like, I've played that game about three times end to end.
Okay.
And has a lot of the Final Fantasy 15 style fighting in it. So I was a little bit used to it when I walked in. Didn't mind it, honestly. Uh, yeah, it would have been nice to be a turn based game, but a turn based game would have kind of killed the flow of this one. I think they did a
Yeah, I
good
get it.
job redoing the battle system the way they did. And other than that, no, I loaded my guys up with magic, and I did the same thing as you did. If I had an enemy that was weak to thunder, and I had thunder on Barret, I would switch over to Barret and use him more
Yeah.
so that I could use the thunder attack on the bad guy.
Yeah, I would say here's my thought on it. So this game came out in 2020. We're now sitting in the latter half of 2024. So let's say, 4.5 years this game is old, which is crazy to think about, and I don't want to think about. But Final Fantasy 15 obviously came out before that, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so I didn't play Final Fantasy 15. I haven't played a modern Final Fantasy since I tried 13 back when it came out and just had a just malfunctioned and didn't play games for a while. Um, this definitely felt like playing in 2024 and having this be 4 years old. That like games had moved past me.
yeah, I can see
Like,
that one. I mean, there's been a
yeah,
big leap in the last, I'd say, 15 years in video games. Final Fantasy 15 came out in 2016, so it was a 4 year gap between that game and this one.
Yeah.
Before that, you had Final Fantasy XIV, obviously, which is an MMO, and that plays just like any typical MMO, as far as I know. I'm not a big
Yeah.
fan of those.
Kind of like a World of Warcraft type deal.
Yeah, and Final Fantasy 13 used kind of a hybrid system where your character would always attack and you just kind of input menu commands and stuff like that, if I remember correctly. So they've been building to this over the last
Yeah.
couple of Final Fantasies. And 15 technically was supposed to be a Final Fantasy sequel, or 13 sequel,
Mm-hmm.
but it kind of died. Like, you can find old videos of Final Fantasy 15 called Final Fantasy 13 Versus. And
They did make a 13 too, though, didn't they?
they eventually did, yeah, but
Yeah.
15 was supposed to be that. And they finally said with 15 that they were done with the series if it didn't sell well. And of course, it sold like gangbusters, so we got 16.
Threaten me again, Daddy.
Yeah. Don't threaten me with a good time, literally.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right, who's your favorite Turk?
My favorite Turk.
You have red
Man,
hair
we don't.
Reno there. He has a stick with the goggles on his head. He's a loudmouth, talks a lot. You have Rude, who uses punches, doesn't talk at all, won't hit Tifa.
Yeah,
And
I like that. I actually think Rude is my favorite one, but
yeah,
I also like you don't get to fight Sung and you don't get to fight Elena. You don't see her at all.
no, Elena appears in the second game.
Yeah. But Rude is I like Rude's and Rude does Rude hit Aerith?
Yeah, he'll hit. Is it? Yeah, I think he hits Aerith. It's he won't hit Tifa because he has a crush on her.
Right. Okay. So he won't it's not that he won't hit girls, it's just that he won't hit Tifa.
Yeah, and Reno will just hit anybody because he's equal opportunity.
Oh, Reno's such a douchebag. And I
Yeah,
hated that fight too. That fight really frustrated me because I you have to block when you fight. Okay, and it's a cool fight, but you end up with Aerith at the church or whatever, the little chapel where she grows her flowers. And then Reno shows up and you got to kick his ass so that he leaves and leaves Aerith alone. That battle is tough because I think that's kind of a point where it's like, okay, you have to figure this out with only one character in your party,
yeah, you
and
really
you
got
have
to
to
learn to block.
the block is the main thing because as soon as he rushes up, you block, and then he kind of gets like knocked back a little bit, and that's
Yeah,
when you can
staggers.
attack a little bit. Yeah, and you can fill his stagger pretty quickly if you block and then use the focus thrust. That's like the whole point of that battle is to. That's such a
You're just
focus
gonna
thrust.
you're just gonna continue to just sing the praises of focus thrust. We're just
Focus
gonna
thrust
assume
was
from this point on, when you say I attacked him, we're all going to assume we just focus thrusted him.
I just focus thrusted my way through this entire game.
Oh yes, you did, baby.
Well, and here's what I think either took some getting used to or frustrated me about the style of game is that you're just because you queued up a special move or a spell doesn't mean that it's going to hit. Um, the other characters are obviously moving around in the same space that you are, and some of them are quite fast. So I would queue up Braver or whatever, and then it would take him a second to like take his step back and then do his little flip to do Braver, and it's like the character that you're or the like the opponent that you're trying to hit has already like moved, so you're
Yeah.
just doing Braver for no fucking reason, and that really pissed me off. So I was like
Well,
focusing on moves that I knew were a sure shot.
well, that was where you take or for me, I would take the time to actually line myself up because the battles can get pretty hectic. So you got to learn to focus on the character you're using and where you want them to attack.
Right.
That took a little bit to get used to, but after a while, it just became second nature. But
It took
I got
quite a
one of
bit for
those
me to get used to.
PlayStation Pro controllers, the ones where you can put like the two buttons on the back and program them. So I could do
What?
things like dodge by just tapping like a button on the bottom of the controller.
Oh, look at you, fancy man.
Oh yeah, it was my retirement gift to
So
myself.
like the PlayStation controller, this brilliant PlayStation 5 controller isn't like good enough for you?
No, this controller is way better.
Man, I love the PlayStation controller.
Yeah, well, it's the best controller out there. We're gonna do an
It
episode on the controllers.
it's a good controller.
Yeah.
Um,
So
yeah,
let's start
I,
talking about like the sequence of the game because I really want to talk about the beginning and how well they did that. It seems like that's where a lot of the focus of the whole game went into was the whole starting mission with Mako One reactor.
yeah, the bombing mission was really cool.
Yeah, because it starts out the exact same way with updated graphics. Not a lot left and right of creativity. Just they expanded the area so that you have more places to go, but everything felt familiar. And they even did that scene where you walk up to the reactor and it tilts and it looks up at the reactor like it does in the original game.
Yep.
It just man, that was right when I was into it.
Oh
That's how
man, and
quickly the
like
game grabbed me.
even like from the very beginning, Cloud jumps off the train in the exact same way. It just is like he's not this like little blocky polygon man. He's like
Yeah,
fully realized, looks cool as hell.
hair is fantastic.
Hair looks great. Hair's on point.
Yeah, so
Swords drawn. I just like how they do the Buster Sword is fucking ridiculous, and we all know
yeah,
that. Like that is not a
usable
practical
sword.
weapon. Yeah, and it's like when it's like how are they gonna make this modern when he's just got this fuck off sword on his back that's just like the biggest thing. He doesn't even appear to sheath it. Like what is but he seems to have some sort of like magnetic thing on his back, like the little
Yeah,
strappy thing that he wears.
the
And he
Buster
can
Sword
just
was first
yeah.
introduced in Crisis Core there, and it kind of gives you the history of the how Zack got it.
I really gotta
And
play that game.
yeah, everybody was the same thing. The Buster Sword just attaches to the back like it just obviously some sort of magnet in the ass or something.
Yeah, I like that. I like that they explain it that way because as soon as your game or your or if, be it a movie or a game or whatever, as soon as it's not cartoony anymore, then you have to start explaining some of this bullshit, you know? Like
Yeah,
why this character has a sword that's like twice as big as he is.
yeah, and so one thing I liked about the animations is the sword didn't clip through anything. Wherever he went, the
No.
sword would actually adjust to fit through. That was a
Right.
nice little detail.
Yeah, and all the like not all of the cutscenes. There were very specific cutscenes where you know that this was like a major story element. It went back to Cloud with his Buster Sword.
Yeah,
But for the most part, there would be like I guess you could call it dialogue, but it's animated because the characters are moving through it. But whatever sword you have equipped down to the materia are present on his back. So if you've got the I don't
well,
know.
it's
I
every
like the
character. You can see the
yeah.
materia in the weapon they're wearing.
Right, but it doesn't change it back to the Buster Sword just because it's a kind of a cinematic. It just flows with whatever loadout you
Oh,
have, and
okay,
I
I see
think
what you're
that's really
saying.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, unless it is a true cinematic, because sometimes it did go back, but very rarely. There were like 2 or 3 times that it happened, and I
yeah.
realized like, oh, this is actually like a full cinematic.
No, it was a nice touch to make sure that the characters, had what they were equipped with as the visible element. But
Actually, one of those cutscenes reminded me that I didn't have. I had at some point in the Shinra building when you split parties and you had Barret and Aerith together fighting that whatever that giant robot thing was.
yeah, on the
Um,
elevator.
I had paused at one point and rearranged the materia so that Barret and Aerith had all the best stuff. And then when you get to the freeway after that, it's very clear that you're going to have to do something with Cloud. And there's like cinematic scenes where he's got like blank materia slots in his sword. And I was like, oh, fuck.
Well, at least you knew you were fucked.
Yeah,
Um,
no, there was a way to pause and like reset everything, but I was like, oh
yeah,
god damn it, I forgot to give him his stuff back.
yeah. But getting back to the kind of the story elements after the Mako One reactor fight in the bottom, like the classic traditional fight with that spider monster, as you go to blow it up,
Yes.
you end up back up at Sector 7, and that's where we were kind of introduced to that tiny town from Final Fantasy VII, where they've really expanded it. Like,
Oh yeah, the little town in Sector 7 is like just the bar in the square. and
Yeah.
like the little water tower where like Tifa and Cloud sit as kids and talk. And
No,
that's pretty much all you see.
that was Nibelheim.
Was it really? I thought there was a place like in
No,
Sector 7 where they hung out.
they have a conversation about Nibelheim. And
Oh, that's
I
it.
think it
Okay.
does a flashback, but the original had Seventh Heaven, a materia shop, and kind of like a tutorial learn how to play the game area.
Oh, that's
Not a
right. But
lot
it was
more.
all in one little square or circle
Yeah.
area.
This one I actually had to learn. Like I got lost the first few times, and then there's that cat mission where you have to find all the kittens for the dumb kid.
These fucking cats.
Yeah, fucking cats.
But do you even get anything for doing that?
Um, it's just a side mission. I think she's like, "Oh, thank you. Here's a useless materia."
Right, that's the thing is like some of the side missions were cool cuz it would lead you through and you'd have to fight, monsters and then you'd level up. So that was kind of how I quote unquote grinded. I didn't really grind in this game at all, but there was a couple places where you could do side missions or while you were running around doing side missions there were battles to be fought.
Yeah,
But
every
other
time
than
you got
that,
to a
yeah.
major city, like a Sector 7 type area, you kind of pause the story so that you could go do some of these side missions. And then when you're done, you just activate the next part of the story,
Right.
which was a nice
Yeah.
touch to kind of break up the, I guess, how do I say it? Gives you a break from like the constant action and stuff like that. It makes the game feel a little more open than just go from point A to point B.
Right. Yeah, I just wish that I guess the some of the missions were a little bit more.
Entertaining.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a
well,
lot of the side missions were pretty garbage.
yeah, there's a lot I skipped. Like if it was, oh my god, I left my phone over at this hard to reach place where you're gonna have to fight an obvious enemy, and it was like, no, fuck, go get your own phone.
No, I would fight the enemies, but I didn't like the ones where it was like, talk to this guy here, and then you go talk to him, and then it's like, oh, okay, well now go over here and talk to this guy, and it's like on the other end of the fucking map. It's like go once you get uh, in the like the second or third part of doing this, you end up doing a mission where you find the chocobos for the chocobo guy, and then you can kind of fast travel, but that's pretty much it. And that's really the only point in the game where you can do any sort of fast travel between the sectors and wall market and stuff.
Yeah,
I
there's
did
still a
enjoy
lot of
that part of
running
the game.
around though.
Yeah, there is. I did enjoy that part of the game though. Like the second time that you're in the slums and then you're in like sector 6 and 5 and Walmart and or Wall Market, Walmart. And you can just kind of like run around those areas and do little side missions. Those were kind of fun.
Yeah. Um, Wall Market actually was one of my favorite parts of the game, and subsequently least favorite parts of the game. I felt it dragged on too long,
Yeah,
but
it dragged on way too long.
the classic updating of the Make Cloud a Girl mission was fun. The
Yeah.
the Coliseum was just it was too much.
You didn't like the Coliseum out of all of that?
The Coliseum, like it's just a way to make the game longer. Like, oh, you're gonna go fight this enemy. Oh,
Oh, at
you
least it
beat
was
the enemy.
battles. What?
Yeah, but if I'm gonna do battles, I want to progress the story forward. I don't just want like battles for the sake of just making me do another battle.
Better than running around with that. What was that dipshit? That guy that was like, oh, the guy that likes Tifa. What the fuck was that
Johnny,
dude? Fuck
Johnny,
him. That was the worst character. Like that he is the reason why I did not like Walmart at all. Or I keep calling it Walmart.
Walmart.
Walmart at all. Because
We're
like,
gonna get sued.
yeah, Walmart's gonna be like, don't associate our name with this crappy part of this game. Uh the Wall Market part with where you have to like run around with Johnny is just like the fucking worst because literally all it is just like go talk to this guy. Oh, I think you have to go to the clothes store and talk to this guy. Go to the bar and talk to this guy. It's like, what the fuck am I doing? I got to the point where I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I'm just going from building to building, talking to random people because Johnny told me to. It's just like, get fucked. This is stupid.
Yeah. For me, that was the part of the game I liked just because it was very similar to the original, where you run around Walmart and not with Johnny, but you talk to all these people, you do these little mini quests or these little mini
Yeah.
games, and then it changes the type of outfit Cloud's going to wear, and it affects if Don Corneo is going to choose you or not, or he'll choose Tifa or Aerith, depending on who has what.
Right. But like, God, it just didn't need Johnny.
No, Johnny could go away, like fuck Johnny, and every time he shows up. But the mission itself, or the whole sequence itself, is what I enjoyed. The Honeybee Inn, I actually like that dance game. I'm glad it was a one-off, but
Yeah, that was
I
a really
enjoyed it.
funny. I
Yeah,
liked it.
I
It
enjoyed it
was
way
really
more than I thought I was going to. And of course, since I liked it, they had to bring the same concept back for some parts of Final Fantasy Rebirth there,
right.
and I didn't like it as much then. I think it was overplayed by that point.
Oh,
Mind you, I
did they
kept.
bring it back in Rebirth too?
And I'm not going to ruin it for anybody, but yeah, there's a part of the game where it uses the same type of like
The
a
the
little line will
dancing.
float across, and then it'll hit a picture of a button, and you're supposed to hit the button at that time, the corresponding button, of course. And then Cloud does a dance move, and if he does all the dance moves properly and gets a high score, he gets, I think, the pretty dress.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. I thought it was fun. So you said I got the blue cloud dress. What dress did you get?
I got the blue Cloud.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Then
there's
there's
three.
a
There's the Cloud black dress where he looks just very mannish. The
they,
blue
he
dress
looks
where
mannish and all. Let's be
no, no,
clear.
no. That purple dress there, it's getting close.
No, he doesn't. Oh my
Let's be
god.
honest. Come
He
on. Yeah,
looks like
just
a
because he has
boy.
that. Yeah, you know what? You know what? We're not having this conversation. I'm going straight to the head of LGBTQ.
Hey, no, that's not to say that you can't wear a dress. I'm just saying he looks like a boy in a dress.
Well, it's because you know he's a boy already, so you're just
uh
projecting.
he's got a he's got a real mannish face, I guess. You don't really
Romantic
realize
face.
that until
Not a
he
fucking
puts a
hair
dress
on there.
on.
Mind you, when you arrive back at the Dawn's place there, the guys at the front, when you're wearing the dress, looks at you and goes, "Really?" or something along
Yeah.
those lines.
Yeah,
So
and then like and the Don is just like, this is a hot lady.
yeah, it's like, oh man, I love the
and
bulging your pants.
he's standing next to Tifa and Aerith who look
Yeah,
smoking.
because Tifa has three dresses as well, and you get them in chapter 3. It's you complete all the side quests, and you
Yeah.
meet her in her room, and you make a choice about dress. So there's the Tifa exotic, which I mean, yeah, that's good. The one I always got,
Yeah.
which was the Tifa mature, where it looks more exotic than the exotic dress. And then, of
Oh
course,
yeah.
Tifa Sporty, which she looks like Chun Li.
She does look like Chun-Li.
Yeah,
I think I got Tifa Exotic. That was the one that
I got
that
Tifa
Tifa had.
mature. I always get
Okay.
Tifa mature because I didn't know about the conditions in chapter 3. But I mean, doesn't matter. Yeah, it's Tifa. The
Oh, you
boobs are
have to
hanging out.
meet Tifa at her room in the slum back in
Yeah,
chapter 3. That's kind of cool
exactly.
how stuff that you do earlier in the game impacts um the outcome here. And then Aerith, I got the red dress Aerith
Oh, I got the
and
red dress as well. I
freaking smoke show.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And she shows up, and there's a whole cutscene with her showing up too, and all the guys with their tongues hanging out and shit like that.
Yeah, it's like, oh, hello.
Yeah, it's like we go back to the point there, like how the Dawn picks Cloud, where he's wearing this blue dress with pigtails there, looking like a good jawline, and
Like a
he can
boy.
bench 255. But
Yeah.
and Aerith is standing right beside him, and he's just like, "Fuck this beautiful girl.
That's what I'm
I'm gonna
saying. It's
I'm
like
gonna do
you
dude."
mean to tell me that you're gonna line these three up and then you're gonna be excited about Cloud? Get the fuck out of here.
Little hidden homosexuality in the Dawn.
Yeah, maybe yeah, and that's fine. Then Tifa and Aerith can come hang out with us.
Yeah, exactly, with Jesse.
hmm
But yeah. So going kind of back to the
We're being such perverts right now.
oh yeah, absolutely. Anything else in Wall Market you really like? Because you eventually go back and you have to climb the wall like you did in the original game. But other
Yeah.
than that, you leave Wall Market after being kicked into the sewers, and you have to run back out to Sector 7 through the sewers and then the haunted train yard.
I got stuck on the boss in the sewers for a while. Don Corneo's like weird horny rat pet or whatever that he's got in the sewer.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of his version of the Rancor pit. That thing fucked me over for a while, and I had to try to figure out how to beat it. And that was kind of like what got me stuck for a while. And then after I beat that boss, it was called like Pazu or Pazuzu or something like that. Once you beat that boss, that was where it kind of like opened the game for me, and I was like, all right, now I can kind of progress. But I was stuck on that for probably weeks, if not
Weeks.
months.
Wow.
Well, like I would get frustrated, like I couldn't beat it, and then all of a sudden it would like, I was like, oh, I'm gonna play something else, and then I would let this sit for a while, and then suddenly I fired it up. I was like, fine, I'm gonna try to beat this again, and I just beat it on the first try. It was like, oh, that wasn't that hard, was it? Um, when
Well, then,
when it would get past half health, then it would change up its attacks, and that's when it was throwing like sewage water at you or whatever. But I just realized that you could like change characters and get out of the way of the fucking sewer water, and then it was fine.
yeah. I hated the sewers, but I love the train graveyard.
Yeah, that's cool. I like the train. I like how you move the trains to, and I think that's the same in
Yeah, you do the same in the
the
original game,
original.
but again, it's more expanded, and this time it has like ghosts and stuff floating all over the place. And they're not bad guys; they're just mischievous little ghosts. And eventually, you confront them, and they're like, "Ha, we're happy again." Then boss fight, but
Oh,
the
that boss
whole
fight was stupid too,
yeah,
with the random like weird chariot fucker. Like, ooh, who the fuck are you? Get out of here!
he's an evil spirit, blah,
He was a
Dracula.
dick.
Yeah, he was a good challenge, but
That was
the
a
whole
tough one.
level itself was I liked it. Very puzzle based, very you had to, figure some stuff out to get some items and stuff like that. I liked it. That's all I'm gonna say. Like I got no train of thought. I'm just waiting for you to cut me off now.
No, I liked both the sewer and the what was the
Train
train? Oh,
graveyard.
the sewer, the train graveyard, or no, not the sewer. The train graveyard and the collapsed freeway were both cool. The collapsed freeway had the thing where you had to like lift up containers
Oh yeah, yeah,
with like the servo arm, and like there were different ways to configure them so you could like get items and then progress. And I like that the game said, like if you set this container down here and you move past it, you're gonna miss this item. So it's like, okay, let me go back to the drawing board and like figure out where I need to put stuff so I can get over there.
yeah. And it was all marked on the ground, anyways. But once you got the stuff and you lowered the ladder, you couldn't use the arm again. So,
Right. That was the thing. Like, hey, if you lower the ladder, you can't move this again and you're gonna miss an item. So I'm glad
which
that they
is
did that.
which is kind of weird because does the power die when the ladder comes down?
I don't know. It's a safety thing.
Yeah, we need more Mako.
No, it's killing the planet.
All right, Sam's cracked the beer. It's time for us to get into the home stretch of this. Um, yeah. So finale of the game. Let's just jump right to that because just let me briefly go over the sequence of events.
Yeah, where are we so far?
Yeah. Well, we blow up Mako Reactor One. We introduce ourselves to Sector 7. You go back up the train and do Reactor 5. That's where Cloud falls down to the church, meets Aerith. You go back to Sector 6, do a bunch of side quests, go through the collapsed highway to just outside Sector 7. That's where you see Tifa going to Wall Market. Go to Wall Market, do all that crap inside of there, make Cloud pretty, make the Dawn gay. Um, After you leave that, you end up in the sewers through the train graveyard. That's where the pillar is being attacked. So that part was a big pivotal moment in the game. That's the like you get there, and obviously in the original game, you hear shooting and stuff like that, and I think it is Jesse in the original game. No, it's Wedge who falls
Mm-hmm.
out of the tower and he lands down. He does in this game as well, and he's like, "Oh, Barrett's up there trying to stop him."
Yeah, right.
We have to climb this pillar, and in this game, the pillar actually feels massive.
The pillar is so cool.
Yeah,
Climbing that
it's
was one of my favorite parts of the game.
In the original, it's just like you're running up a circular or like a spiral staircase
Yeah,
and,
it's a
having a few
staircase.
fights on the way. But this game, like, you have levels and there's helicopters shooting at you and you have to attack enemies while being shot at by fucking helicopters.
Yeah, and you have grappling hooks and stuff. You have to like
Yeah.
zip from one spot to the next by finding the place to hit, attach your grappling hook. That was the part where Tifa punched a helicopter out of the sky. That was so cool. I
But
was
this
like,
is
oh shoot, I have to fight this helicopter. And I was like, let me flip to Tifa. And then she just like jumped up and fucking punched it out of the sky.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
Oh well, there you go. Next playthrough I'll have to do that. But it's in this like everybody knows, and this is the area where Biggs, Wedge, and Jesse die.
Right.
And that happens here as well. So as you're climbing up, you'll see Biggs leaning against a wall. He's been shot. He dies before you can help him. And then Jessie, I don't remember where you find her, but she's near death as well.
Yeah,
And
that was tough.
yeah,
I
so
didn't like that.
you're losing one of the good characters, and then you get to the top, and you have to fight Rude and fuck, what's his name, Reno.
Reno. Yeah.
Yeah, God, just it slipped my mind for a second. But you fight them. I think it's your second fight with them by this point.
Yeah, you've at least fought Reno, and then there's another place where you have to fight Rude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you fight Rude just outside of Aerith's house in Sector 6.
Right.
Uh, but anyway, so yeah, you do this fight. After the fight ends, they blow up the pillar, which causes Sector 7 to collapse. And just like the original game, it turns into a national emergency. They're blaming Avalanche. And going back to Avalanche, actually, one thing I found interesting about this game is your group of Avalanche is actually a splinter group of the main force.
Right.
And
Yeah.
and you learn that when you go to the surface with Jesse and kind of an extra mission from the original game. And when you get to this area where you have to fight the motorcycle douchebag, it it explains that the main force of Avalanche is coming to rescue you.
Right.
So I didn't know that Barret was actually a splinter Avalanche group.
Yeah, that's just another one of those things where, having this be this massive, modern, you know, game that there can be more, and they're condensing or expanding, rather, not condensing, but they're expanding a very small part of the original game into its own game. Like, yeah, why not? Why wouldn't there be a larger Avalanche organization and
Well,
you're just a little
exactly.
splinter cell? Right.
But it's a great way to explain why you're a small militant group as opposed to some large organization if they're supposed to be the rebels.
Right. Yeah. That's why there's only, Biggs, Wedge, Jesse, Barret, and Tifa. And then, like obviously Cloud and Aerith join later, but that's kind of
It was
cool.
neat, yeah. So anyways, when the pillar collapses, before it does, they capture Aerith, who take her up to the Shinra main building. She mentions that she got Marlene safe because her whole mission was to go get Marlene, and that's where we were talking about. She goes into Seventh Heaven and sees the flower, or the flower's not there.
Right.
I've always bought the flower, so I don't know if the dialogue changes. I should really next playthrough not buy the flower just to see.
Yeah. I would have a hard time not buying the flower though.
No, because she's like so nice about it. It's like, hey, do you want a flower? And like,
It's like, of course I want a flower. Of
I don't
course
want
I
to
want a
take it.
flower. Of course I want to give it to Tifa. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have a bitch on the other side.
I'd
Oh
be
man.
like, well, I'd be like, I'd probably play it again and be like, well, I want to see it, but then I'd be like, oh, damn it, I'm gonna buy it. Oh, fuck, like here we
Yeah,
go again.
I'm just gonna look online for the answer.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to do it. That way, you don't have to change what you would do as a person.
And comes the age-old problem: is I can't be the bad guy in video games because I'm
Yeah,
just
me
too
too.
nice.
I just can't do it.
No, in real life,
Can't
I
be
can
into
tell you
it.
to fuck off. In a video game, no.
Yeah,
Just
just
that's my hero story. But
yeah.
all right. So all that is done. They've kidnapped Aerith. That's sung from the Turks.
Yep.
You escape. You land in Sector 6. Barret goes, of course, fucking ballistically crazy. And that's the point you have to climb the wall. The original game, it was just kind of a jumping game, but in this one, it has like this whole huge uh, level to it, and you run into soldiers as they attempt to get you. So obviously, knowing full well you escape, so it's not just a simple we climbed this wall and nobody was guarding it. You actually have some sort of story element to it as you get to the top.
Right.
Then once you get to the top, sorry, I'm trying to think of the whole sequence here. Like I said, it's been a while, and I'm surprised I remember this much. So you get to the top, you end
Yeah,
up at the
doing
front
good.
of the Shinra building there. And in the original game, you had two ways: you bust in through the front door like Barret wants, or you go up the endless staircase on the left side and you get a few items. What did you
Oh,
do?
what did you do?
I always go in the front door on this game. The original, I go up the stairs.
Okay, I went in the front door. Like, I think you go in the front door no matter what, but where they work in the stairs versus going like whatever up the front door is there's three paths you can take, and I think the right or the left are staircases and the middle is an elevator. And I think there's probably, I don't know if there's battles or anything, but I did end up going up the stairs, and it was just stupid how many, like, they literally make you go up 59 flights of fucking stairs.
Yeah.
And Cloud can't, like, you can't hold down the button to just like video game run up these stairs. He is noticeably tired as he's going up the stairs, and so you're slowing down, and the last 10 flights take so fucking long. And Tifa, not Tifa so much, but Barret is complaining the whole fucking time.
Yeah, well,
It's
it's
like,
kind of your
this is
punishment for the
absolutely
easy way.
awful.
Yeah, but on the ground floor, I just remembered before that you have that little kind of mini game. I think it's with Tifa there. She's climbing
Yes.
around everything to get the key card inside of the security building that has a force field around it, but oddly
Yeah.
nothing on the top.
Right. That was fun.
That was kind of a good challenge. But you're on the 59th floor. From here, you're just kind of going through the different floors, the same as the original game. You're going to run into the mayor. You're going to run into the model of Midgar. Um, you sneak in on their meeting, except for the meeting's a little bit better done.
Right.
What else do you do?
Yeah, that looks pretty
Eventually,
cool.
yeah, eventually you get all the way up to Hojo's lab,
Yep.
and
I
that's
liked
kind
what
of
they did with Hojo's lab, where you had to go through all of the different wards of the lab, and you were having to switch parties between, I think it was like, who is it? Cloud and Aerith and Tifa and Barret, or maybe it was the other way around. But like basically your party was split. And so no, it was Tifa and Aerith. It was boy, and girl. And you had to like you use the little communicator to switch between parties and then like open the door and let the other party go through and then get to the other side. And
that was
that
well
was a
done.
cool way to work through that.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. That's probably my second favorite part of the game.
Yeah.
Least favorite part, the first bike mini game where you fight douchebag on the bike.
Yeah,
And
I didn't like any of the bike stuff. I didn't like it in the first game. I didn't like it in this.
I didn't mind the last one because you're coming up to the climatic end of the game at that point. So
Yeah, it just went on way too long. It was like, oh, okay, so I beat these first couple of, this section and then this section. There were like 3 sections before you end up kind of fighting a boss on the bike.
yeah,
And that took me 2 tries, and it was just like, I'm so done with this fucking freeway at this point.
well, it's like the original. Oh no, the original, the boss chases you a bit, and then you get to the end of the road and
I
you
think you
fight
just
him.
have a regular fight with it,
Yeah,
yeah. But
and
this
then
you're like fighting it on the bike, which was
yeah, and
different.
the difference of the ending of this game and the ending of the original is in this game you've already met Sephiroth, and way before you would have in the original. See, original, you learn about Sephiroth when he puts his sword through the CEO of Shinra. In this
Right.
game, you see him in the first sequence after you blow up Mako Reactor 1 when he's walking through the alleys there. He has like a little moment where it's flashing. And
Yeah, he's
knowing,
just kind of around.
yeah, and knowing full well that like the end of the whole game, like the whole story itself, it makes sense why Sephiroth is there with Cloud a lot of the times. But
Right. Yeah. It's kind of like he's having either like some sort of a flashback or some sort of reaction to the fact that Sephiroth, I don't know if it's his spirit or whatever, is just kind of around,
he's
causing
one of the
trouble.
test subjects, right?
Yeah. Um. yeah, I don't know. And
Uh,
then you end up after the freeway going into that weird kind of upside down version of the world.
yeah, and this is where the game differs because you're having the final battle with Sephiroth already, and in the original game, you just climb down the side of the highway, which is not completed yet, and
Right.
you carry on with the game. You head off
Yeah,
to
you end up in the overworld basically,
yeah,
don't you? Yeah.
and that's where the game kind of really starts.
But
But
they needed this for this game. They needed to kind of have a cap for it. Not
oh
that they
yeah,
wouldn't make a second one, but you really need to have a big bad at the end of a video game to you can't just be like, "Oh, then they climb
oh
down a
yeah,
ladder and that's the
absolutely.
game."
But this is also the thing where those fate ghosts come into play because they're rushing the Shinra building and all that because things aren't going as the original game went, and that's causing this reaction from basically fate, which is trying to put everything back in
Uh
order. The people who died that shouldn't have, the people who didn't die that should have. It's trying to fix everything.
okay, well
And
that makes a little bit more sense cuz like at first I was just like, "Why are these fucking ghosts around again?" It's just kind of dumb.
yeah, and it was kind of a nice way to allow them to veer from the original story
Right.
and explain kind of what they did. And again, it comes into play in the second game, which was a really nice touch. But no, so after you do this fight and you finally beat Sephiroth, and you send me a message in Discord and say, "Hey,
Oh,
I finally fucking beat him."
oh, he is the fucking worst.
Yeah, you get this good ending where he kind of tells you that fate is something that's something something. You know, it's not set in
Yeah.
stone, and then poof, he disappears.
What a dick bag.
Yeah, and then it kind of sets up the second game and the ending there.
Yeah, I didn't like okay, so I have to say there are two kind of final bosses. There's that mega like it's like a mega fate ghost type thing and it sends 3 after you and you're kind of like jumping through debris and fighting like little set piece battles with these 3. And then when you stagger any of these 3 ghosts, then that's when you do damage to the main one, right? But it was frustrating at first because I'm like fighting them like it's a regular battle and like they are not taking damage. I think it was kind of a way to make it cinematic. Like you got to fight it for a while and then move on and then only after like a certain amount of time has passed or a certain amount of the kind of set piece has passed and you get into the actual arena is when you can damage them. It was just like, oh,
Yeah,
come on. Like
cinematic
I just
fights.
don't appreciate not being able to damage an enemy for a while just because it
Yeah,
serves the story or whatever.
well, it has to be grandiose because everybody wanted it that way.
Yeah, and that was fine. It ended up being fine, but like that and here's another thing that frustrates me from some of these battles, and it happened because we can segue this into Sephiroth talk because this happened a couple times for me fighting this fucker. Is that they want to make it cinematic, so there's little cutscenes, stitched in between portions of the battle. So it's like if he falls, you know, a certain number of hit points, then it'll trigger a cutscene, and then another set amount of hit points, and it triggers another cutscene. Well, here's me, like my battle style, like I previously said, like flipping through characters and like lining up my shit. Like okay, I want Tifa to do this, I want Aerith to do this, I want Cloud to do this. Well, here's a limit break, right? But if you hit limit break and then you trigger a cutscene, it'll go for the cutscene, and then your limit break is just fucked. Like, oh, so sorry, you don't use your limit break now because we needed to do a cutscene. I think it would have been better if either the cutscene triggers and then the limit break happens, or you allow the player to run out the number of moves that they did and then trigger the cutscene afterwards. It just was really frustrating sometimes trying to figure out like, oh, there's a cutscene here. I gotta wait to do my limit break. I don't
Yeah,
know what I don't know what you thought about that. I that really pissed me off a few times.
I didn't notice it. I was more of a hit him until the cutscene happened, and I didn't really kind of pay attention to what I was using.
Oh, for me, it was like, oh, I can use this limit break. I'm gonna, rattle off this limit break, or I want to use this special.
See,
I'd be like burning ATB, meters
that
on
never
stuff.
bothers me because
Ugh.
I know the cutscene's going to have to come, and if I don't have a hit point counter on them, I'm going to use what I have when I have it, and if I lose it, I mean, oh well, I'm just going to go to the next round and build it back up.
well, but not the limit break. Like the limit breaks and the summons were so precious in this game, so rare that they would happen. And if you don't use them in the battle that you kind of earn the limit break in, they don't carry over like in the original. So the limit
Yeah.
breaks were really kind of a use it or lose it type scenario.
Yeah, and that kind of encouraged you to actually use them because how many times would you, in the original, would you have a limit break but know full well a boss was coming up, so you just sit there and
Oh, I'd sit on it. Yeah.
yeah, you'd sit on it until the boss. This one at least, use the fucking limit break. But
Yeah.
do you
But
want to get into some of the mini games?
mini games, I was actually going to ask you about the summons because I just realized that I only found like about half of them, not even.
Oh god,
Did
I
you
barely
find all
found
the
any of them. Oh my
did you
god, we forgot to talk about Chadwick.
Oh yeah, the little dude that
The douchiest
yeah.
fucking character in the world. I'm Chadwick. I talk in a
Yeah.
monotone voice with fake emotions.
I work for Shinra and I'm going to help you whatever. Yeah.
Oh god.
Basically with Chadwick, I was only able to find Shiva, Chocobo and Moogle, Ifrit and
If I
Fat
could choke a
Chocobo.
kid, it's going to be Chadley. It's not Chadwick, it's Chadley.
Chadley.
That's
Yeah,
how
he is a
little I
Chad.
care about him. I
Yeah,
fucking he
I found
talks and he
less
talks and he talks and he doesn't stop talking. It's like I just want to carry on. So you do what he asks and then you exit and he's like he talks some more and it's like
I
shut the
think what
fuck up.
I think what happens is that you can progress your he gives you like little um not even side missions but just like little goals to accomplish.
Well,
And
he
if he
gives you
gives
the
you a
assess
goal that you've
material.
already yeah, well, right, that's a really good one. But if he gives you a goal that you've already accomplished, it just kind of like triggers the next like piece of dialogue from him.
Oh,
So I found myself talking to him after having done a whole bunch of shit, and then he just like talks through all of that. So I think that's
yeah.
part of the problem there.
Yeah, he doesn't shut up.
No, he
And he
doesn't.
doesn't get better in this next game. He is
Cool.
just so fucking annoying.
Yeah,
And
but
it's the fact that you can't back out. Like you're
yeah.
stuck talking to him and he has nothing to say. And he'll sit there and say that nothing until you're just fucking frustrated and then you
Well,
just want
right,
to punch him.
like if you've done like 3 or 4 of his little research missions or whatever, he'd be like, "I found a new materia for you," and then you talk to him, and then he'll like pop up again doing the same thing, like, "I found a new materia for you."
Yeah. And then yeah, to get the summons, you have to do some of these missions, and then you have to fight the summon in the virtual reality world he gives you, and
Yeah,
I just
those were
didn't
cool.
find
I
it
wish
worth it.
I wish a couple of those summons were easier to find because I really only found 4 of them, and they're like 10.
Yeah, I think I only found 4 or 5 of them myself. I didn't care honestly. I didn't find
Oh
them
man,
useful.
I was excited when I got them because I mean Ifrit killed fucking Sephiroth for me. I had him
No,
out and I was using his summon abilities whenever I could, and then when basically when they join you on the battlefield and when you build your little ATB meter, you can use it to use your summon abilities, so it'll make them attack. Otherwise, I don't think they really do anything. But then before they leave the battlefield, they do their main
yeah, their big
attacks.
move.
So yeah, so like Ifrit did Hellfire, and I was like, and then it just popped up like Sephiroth defeated. I was like, yes,
Yeah. Oh,
MVP.
I used Ifrit when he popped up or Shiva when they popped up. Like they were equipped the ones I had, but
Yeah, they
I
were
never
good.
relied on them.
No,
They
I
come
didn't.
out,
I
they punch a few people there, then they do their big attack. So it was
Their
fun.
attacks are good though. I mean, if you can build your ATB and use the some I keep wanting to call them guardian forces like it's Final Fantasy VIII, but if you can use the summon attacks, then they can be pretty useful. But I didn't realize that like there's there's Bahamut, there's Leviathan, there's Rama, there's
Well,
Carbuncle,
Ramu
there's
is in the
Cactar.
next game. He's in the
Oh, is he really?
intermission.
Oh, is he in, okay.
Yeah.
But there's
So
like I was like looking at this list. I was like, what the fuck? I only found like 2 of them. God damn it. Fat Chocobo is the best though.
okay, I'll take your word on that one. I don't think I ever used them.
Oh, Fat Chocobo is awesome. I just like that it exists and it is something that I found.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Long pause for no reason. Shall we talk about the mini games now?
Yeah, yeah. You want to talk about the mini games like 10 minutes ago? I'm sorry.
No, I really did, but then we forgot about Chadley, so I needed to vent. I actually had that one in my notes. I have a notebook here with things I want to yell about, and
Fucking
Chadley was,
Chadley.
yeah, all caps. Fucking hate him. Did you do the darts in Seventh Heaven?
I did. I got the trophy for it.
Yeah, that was a fun game. I'm surprised they didn't spin that off into its own like mini game.
Yeah, the darts are fun. I didn't do a lot in the little like weight room in Wall Market where you do like the squats and
And the
there's like
pull
a
ups,
Tifa
yeah.
pull up one. I know that I could have gone and try to go for higher scores and get like some special materia and shit, but I just couldn't be bothered. I didn't enjoy them that much.
Yeah, I did the squats because it was part of the original game, and I kind of liked it. I didn't
Yeah.
do the chin ups. I just kind of didn't really feel like doing them because I just was pushing through the game.
Well, it's kind of
But,
tough because you have to push the buttons in sequence and then you can kind of see how it's going on the screen
and then it
and then it
fades out.
slowly fades. Yeah, it fades the picture out. It's like you got to kind of guess.
Well,
Um,
I wasn't guessing. I was actually tapping my foot to it.
oh, okay. Well, you get into a rhythm, but it's like
Yeah,
if you kind of snap yourself out of that rhythm, you'll fuck it up for sure.
yeah, and you just got to keep ahead of those guys. I didn't do the mini games outside of the mandatory one, so
Yeah, I usually do. I don't really enjoy mini games in RPGs as a whole. The best mini game I'd say is the one in original Final Fantasy VII where there's like that little mini strategy game where it's like kind of a tower defense.
oh,
I
Fort
don't I can't
Condor.
Yes, I like Fort Condor. Fort
They
Condor is
bring
so
that
much
back
fun.
in intermission. They've actually made it a whole mini game in Rebirth.
Oh, cool.
because
All right,
because
I'm
you
looking
don't
forward to it.
actually, yeah, you don't run into Fort Condor like you did in the original game. So they've
Right.
turned it into a mini game that you actually find throughout the world.
Oh, cool. All right.
Yeah, it's fun for what it is. The characters actually look like the original Final Fantasy VII characters, so it was kind of a neat thing because you go inside this magical board game.
Oh, that's awesome. I can't wait to get to that.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
love
So
that mini game.
yeah, I can't see anything else we really can talk about. I mean, we talked about the characters, the
Yeah.
NPCs, the game itself. We talked a little bit about Sephiroth, but there's nothing
How
really
much
to
of a
say about him. He's
fucking
Sephiroth.
dick. What a
Kind of his
dick.
MO.
He is such a fucking chode. I can't stand that fight. Like I did not enjoy that fight at all.
Well, it is a boss, like a final boss fight, so it's
Yeah,
not
I
meant to
mean it
be
was
enjoyed. It's meant to be
no,
experienced.
it was very tough, but
Yeah.
I do like how when you're fighting it, it's like you fight it to a point and then Tifa joins in and then you fight to another point and then Aerith joins in. So that's kind of cool. But like where was Barret that whole time? What was he fucking doing? Sitting there with
Cleaning
his
his
thumb up
gun.
his ass. Yeah,
Yeah, his
cleaning his
gun up
gun.
his ass.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap this up.
Yeah,
What
sorry guys. This is a
what are you
long
going to?
episode.
Yeah, it is. Oh, I love it though. But what are you going to give this game out of 10, Sam?
Um not really. I mean, uh, if I'm gonna play it again, or if I'm gonna play Final Fantasy VII again, I'm gonna play the original. I'd probably give this like a 7.5. It's not really my style of game. This is where like I said, I think I picked this game up in 2023, 2024, and it was like, oh, games have moved past me. I this is not my style at all. This is not how I engage with video games anymore.
Oh,
So um, yeah, it definitely makes me feel like a dinosaur. I enjoyed the story. I like how they expanded things. I will play Rebirth at some point, but yeah, it's like a 7.5 for me. It's a really good game, but I don't enjoy the gameplay aspects of it in some respects. So
okay, I'm gonna counter you on this one. I'm gonna go with solid 9.
okay,
I like what they did by remaking this game, and I did actually enjoy the gameplay mechanics. But I do like games new and old, so these big releases like this, I get right away. So I'm used to the game style. Uh, I love what they, like I said, they love what they did with the story. I love how they expanded the characters and used the technology to really kind of bring Midgar to life. So not a lot wrong with
Yeah.
this game. Chadley is worth. Actually, I'm going to give it an 8 because fuck Chadley.
A whole point? Holy fuck.
Oh, that's how fucking much I hate Chadley.
You don't even have to talk to him.
No, that's the best part is he sucks so bad, I don't have to talk to him, but I still hate him because, yes, you do have to talk to him to get fucking materials that you can use.
Yeah, you do have to. You need assess. Assess is really great.
Yeah, because it tells you what you need to know about the enemy, which is, what Chadley wants, and then you have to talk to Chadley, and then Chadley's like, hey, I got a new materia for you, and go into this battle thing and fight the summon so you can use them.
Right.
So anyways, yeah, 8 out of 10, fuck Chadley. That's my final answer.
Okay.
Yahtzee.
Yahtzee.
So that's
I think I might when we wrap this up, I might go. I started intermission. I might go play some more intermission.
There you go. So I'm going to let you get back to it.
I like Yuffie so far. She's good.
Which is weird because the original Final Fantasy VII, Yuffie was a terrible character.
Yeah, she wasn't good, was she?
No, she was not. And on that note, we're going to wrap it up here so Sam can go ogle a 15-year-old.
Oh, come on.
I realized what I said after I said, I'm like, well, I better write down that time. We're going to have to cut that.
Is she canonically 15?
I think she's 15.
I'm not ogling her. I think she's a good character. I didn't say that. It wasn't a Tifa situation.
Let's see. Oh, sorry. She's 16.
Oh, great.
But don't worry. By the time she gets to Advent Children, she's 18.
Oh, perfect. There we go.
All right. Oh, yeah. One final note. Christopher Sabat, the guy who does the voice of Piccolo and so many others, does the voice of Heidegger in this game. And you
does he really?
Oh, yeah.
That's cool. I mentioned this on the Dissidia episode. I met that guy. I got his autograph when I was a kid.
Oh, nice.
That was cool. I don't know if I have the autographs anymore, but yeah.
I was reading his IMDb page. It says he has 2 children and he voices Piccolo, so I feel for those children.
Hey, be like, go to your room.
All right, so we're wrapping it up. Sam is going to go play a video game featuring a 16-year-old that he's not going to ogle.
Jesus Christ.
And until next time, keep on gaming, I guess.
Yeah, fuck you. I'm going to go play Pokemon Cock Edition. Never mind. I changed my mind.
Hi there, everyone. We here at Retrotopia couldn't do what we do without the support of our Patreons. And to that effect, we would like to shout out our heroes at the hero tier. So a huge Retrotopia thank you from all of the hosts here to Andrew Wright, Wildcard, Unbuckled Cape, Makeshift Money, Sergeant Ombre, Randy Berridge, BCOS19, J Nasty 15, Chris Kaplane, Jack Datchler, Sir Busts-A-Lot, Big Kid 782, Super Dave, Big Brown Dog, Studstill Smash, Fallen Snow Kiku, Radmac, Calin Hygus, Old Man Gamer, Raging Demon, Radioactive Hooli, Blue Shell Discharge, The Big Deal, Dylan Jacobson, Game Genius, H, Brother Retro, Shane's World, Ovindally, Brian Spritzer. So thanks as always for your support, guys. It truly means the world to us and means we can keep doing this little thing that we love so much. Game on.